Seismic shift numero seis. And it only gets better, folks. Dr. French's latest Hammer Nutrition blog post, Demystifying Keto Part 2, or Keto for High Performance Athletes, discusses how a ketogenic diet applies to serious athletes like you, which provides me the opportunity to take up where this article leaves off so that you can reach higher health and peak performance. So, what about the athletic performance? Dr. French poses a great question here and cites the science to date, in particular, Dr. Jeff Volek's work and the seminal FASTER study, a study which demonstrated that properly fat-adapted athletes can burn over twice the fat of a conventional high-carb athletes. And this is something that previous to FASTER had not been published in the literature. But there's an enormous backstory to FASTER which supports Dr. French's hints that carbohydrates can be included to add that performance punch. All of the low carbohydrate diet cohort in the FASTER study, they did not live on a strict ketogenic diet in the real world of training and racing. They were just doing keto in the study. They followed the OFM protocol, including the use of Vespa, which includes the use of strategic carbs around training and competition to achieve the levels of records they were able to get. Furthermore, Drs. Volek and Finney profiled Vespa and OFM in their 2012 book, The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Performance, where they mentioned that I recommended using carbohydrates around competitions. Now, there's another key point not mentioned in the article, but just as relevant, and this is that these athletes also burn all this fat at 75 to 80% of their VO2 max, and that's the sweet spot of endurance sports racing. Okay, those of you who know me probably already know I helped these athletes get fat adapted and was instrumental in the evolution of the FASTER study. But if you're new to me and new to this, and you're skeptical and wondering, who is this guy? You can find my name appearing behind the scenes in the acknowledgments of both the FASTER study and both books by Drs. Finney and Volek, which were published in 2011 and 2012. Yeah, I've been at this a while. Now, let's move the needle beyond the FASTER study and published science to date. Let's move it to the real world that we live in. FASTER limited its experimental design to examining the role of a ketogenic diet, whereas OFM is a multifaceted, individualized approach to performance. In conversations with some of the FASTER study subjects and other athletes subsequent to the publishing of FASTER, we discussed how we knew from our experience there was a lot more out there. A lot more. In fact, John Rutherford, who clocked the highest peak fat oxidation rate of 1.78 grams per minute in FASTER, and we discussed how over 2 grams per minute of fat oxidation was easily possible simply by adding Vespa. Then it happened. Elite ultra runner Jeff Browning recorded 2.22 grams per minute of peak fat oxidation during a fasted plus Vespa VO2 max test. This led us down the rabbit hole of more testing where athletes like Jeff Browning and Peter Mortimer have data showing them sustaining over 2 grams per minute of fat oxidation for several minutes and never crossing over to using carbohydrates right up to their VO2 max. This is how and why the athletes we work with, no matter what their age, gender, or ability, are able to reach their health and performance potential, then ride that wave of benefits for the long term. And the best part about it is you can have those carbs when you need them. just not in the massive amounts that lead to the unintended consequences of consuming too much sugar and what that does to your body. Whether you are already on your fat adapted journey or not, the easiest way to get started to reach your potential is to just grab a 12-pack of Vespa and start that journey today.